November 25th, special meeting of council. We have an agenda here. Trying to add to it.
No, there's no additions, but I'd request that we can do the enclosed session right after the delegations. So move 16.1 behind 4 or 5 point.
Yep, we can do that again. So I'm going to adopt the agenda. Definitely adopt the agenda. All in favor? Carried. We have the minutes from the regular November 4th meeting. Was there anything anybody noticed on there or wants to talk about? Didn't see anything. I'll move them. Mark moves to accept them. All in favor? Carried. There's the November 18th minutes. So they're pretty cut and dry. So. Who's that? Was all in favor? Carried. Okay. We don't actually have a delegation, do we? So we might as well go right to the.
Sorry, it's 5.1 and the delegation's waiting.
Okay, so you're not putting the in-camera one ahead?
We'll do it after this delegation.
5.1, communicate briefing and proposal.
Hi, Brian, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
We can hear you, yeah.
Perfect.
Okay, so council's ready to hear your program and your offer to the municipality, so I'll just hand the floor over to you.
Sure. Thank you very much. It's nice to meet you. Oh, sorry.
No.
Good. Okay, awesome. Nice to meet everybody. Thanks for taking the time to meet with me. I know we're kind of tight on time, so I'll make it relatively quick. My name is Brian. I'm the business development consultant for Avia. We developed a public broadcast platform called Communicate. Long and short of it, it allows municipalities to communicate directly with their residents via push notifications. It allows for 100% control over the messaging that is sent out, and it allows for, prevents two-way communication, so there's no misconstrued information once it gets shared. It's an opportunity to make sure the messaging that you want is seen by residents. It allows you to track which residents have seen the message to ensure that the right individuals are getting it, but also to hold your residents accountable if there's an issue within the community, ensuring that they're actually seeing the message and there's no questions about that. I can share my screen if you guys would like to kind of chat about what exactly, or show you a little bit more in depth. I'm not quite sure if that's something you're interested in, or if you're just looking for more of a high level overview.
Sure.
Okay, awesome. So 2 seconds here. Oh, guess I cannot share my screen.
Nope.
I don't know if Quentin, you can enable that for me.
There you go, you should be able to now.
Awesome, thank you. Okay. Okay, can you guys see this okay?
Yep. Yep.
Perfect. So feel free to stop me anytime. I'll kind of blow through this relatively quickly, but ask questions anytime you'd like. So this is essentially a quick overview of the back end. The nice thing about this is up here in the top left corner where it says Communicate, this would be your brand, your logo, your coloring. Essentially, once we turn this app over to you, you don't see our logo or our brand anywhere. It's your app, it's your information. Everything that you post is published by you. We facilitate some support on the back end, but at the end of the day, this is yours. So it'll look and feel like it's your app. It'll be your colors, everything of the sort. This is a really quick snapshot of what's going on. So all-time statistics in terms of users, views, and conversions. You'll see over here on the right, new users. So this will allow you to track anybody who's freshly downloaded the app and create a user profile. The real quick way to do that is a first name, last name, email address. That's the only information that we collect. You can add a layer to that if you wanted to be, or have more verified information, whether it be address or postal code, or location within the community. And then you have featured posts, which again, this is just information that's kind of up to date, first and foremost, things that you really want your individuals and your residents to look at. Over here on the side, we've kind of talked about users. So this is where you could see a snapshot of all of the active users and even inactive users within your account. You can go in here, you can delete users, you can make them inactive, you can disable them. So if there's someone causing you some problems, or maybe a member of your administration is no longer with your organization, you can remove them as a user or remove them as a member, but still give them a little bit of access if they're still within the community. Groups, this is an opportunity for you to really select who has the information. So you can create as many groups as you want. All of your users can be funneled into a group in as many groups. Click on it and simply show you who all your groups are and whether they're active or verified. And this is again is a layer of security, making sure that the information you're sending out is going directly to who you want it to. You could create a group for your internal administration or for your elected officials, and it would be information shared just to them. I'll go through that once pretty quickly, but you have news, you have an opportunity to post events, forms, jobs, postings, and documents. We'll get into the analytics here just in a sec, but this is what it will look like for everything that you've posted. So it'll maintain a track record and a history of all the different posts that you've made throughout your community. You can retract something if something's no longer relevant, or if maybe there's an error that was made but you want to correct it. You would simply hit the retract button and it is removed from the app. So you'll still see it on the back end, but your residents would not be able to see it when they open up the app on their end. Really quickly, to look at how it would look to edit a post, you would simply hit the pencil and you'd be able to have a headline, a tagline with a cover image, and then your tags. Your tags allow your residents to filter posts, have as many or as little as you want, and then the body of the context is here. Hit your live preview, and this is what it would look like. Oh, sorry here. What it would look like for your residents on their app once they see the notification. Anything you embed in here, whether it be links, phone numbers, email addresses, is all clickable. If you like it, you hit save news. If you don't, you could hide it and make the edits accordingly. And then the simple way to publish it would be you hit publish. And this brings you to the 4 levels of security that we were talking about. So open would basically, we would share this information with any individuals who have the app downloaded. They may not have registered as a user, but they've downloaded the app because they're curious. Users is exactly what it sounds like. You would only send it to verified and registered users. Groups is that one step further, where maybe you're only sending it to a handful, or the individuals within a group, a specific group. And private is that extra layer where you are sending it to the individuals by name specifically. So if we were to select private, you would hit next, type in your user, hit next, and then you're given the option to send with notification or without. So with push notification means you basically are going to get a buzz on your app and a highlight on your phone screen when the app goes through. So we'll just do here, municipal news. Look for details. You can put emojis in here if you wanted to. You could really, highlight it. You can make it as fun or as boring as you'd like. Once you hit next, it'll give you a quick recap. So we're going to say you're publishing this to a private member, to myself only, with notifications, and here's what it would look like on that end. Once you hit publish, it's a matter of seconds before your residents have access to it and your residents' phone buzz. There's actually some instances where we'll hit publish and the phone is buzzing before our screen refreshes. It's quick. It doesn't matter where your residents are at. They'll get access to it whether they're on the East Coast, the West Coast, in the States, or traveling abroad, so long as they're connected to a Wi-Fi or a cellular network. Everything you post is posted the same way. So forms and events, jobs, all done with the same process, selecting your layer, adding your individuals with notification, without, and then there's a quick recap before you hit publish. Forms is an opportunity for you to collect information from residents. This could be address changes, this could be requests for garbage pickup or garbage disposal, anything that you're looking to request or you want your residents to be able to request from the administration, you can put in here. It's a pretty quick, it's a simple form. It's all drag and drop. You can have as many text fields as you want or as little. If you put something in and you don't like it, you can simply just delete it. Nothing goes public, nothing goes or is published unless you yourself physically publish it. So there is some room in terms of playing around and editing your posts and making sure you're getting the right image out there. The nice thing about this too is it's a response email. So anytime your residents submit something, the data is encrypted and it goes only to the individual or individuals that you want the information to go to. So you don't have to bog down, all of your administration or all the members of one department with the information. If you only want one person on your team to get these forms, that's the only person that'll get it. Any questions so far?
No, looks pretty simple.
Yeah, we try to make it as user-friendly as possible, so I think we're doing pretty good in that regard. Documents is a really neat feature. You can post a 2-page newsletter, maybe from yourselves as councilors and elected officials, post your newsletter, or you can post your 250-page annual report. As long as it's a PDF, you can upload it here, and as soon as your residents click on it, they have access to it and they can see it right there on their phone. It's not distorted in any way. It shows up exactly as you want it to, exactly as the report is meant to be seen, just on their phone. The last piece I'll really touch on is the analytics. This is where I was mentioning earlier about accountability. So you can look at your all-time analytics for, as 7 days or even up to 365 days. You can look at everything from users to conversions, views, and you can really hone in on the information that you're looking to grab. You can go down here and it'll tell you kind of what your all-time high posts are. So it'll show you the top 10 posts in terms of engagement. So if you're ever curious on what you should post and what your residents are paying attention to, this will give you a good snapshot. And the nice thing about this too is if we go back to one of the posts here, so we can click on this and you can actually see the individual analytics for this particular post. You can look at everything from views, from activities into conversions. This is a great way. So as an example, property taxes. Let's say you send out a notice, 30 or 60 days prior to the due date for property taxes. You can send out multiple notices if you'd like, multiple reminders. Let's say somebody passes the deadline and now they've incurred penalties, but they're complaining to you and the administration that they never saw any notice. They forgot their property taxes were due, and they don't think it's fair for them to pay penalties. You can actually go into your post and do exactly that, where you can click on it. I think I've actually got one down here for property taxes. We'll use this one as an example. You would click on this little bar graph and it will show you exactly who in the conversions and activity, who viewed it and who's clicked on it. So you can say, let's say, oh, look, Brian Tower, you actually clicked on that. So there was a deadline. So why are you complaining that you didn't see it? In my experience, this has prevented a lot of unnecessary conflict between residents and the administration, specifically because you're holding them accountable for the information that they're seeing. That honestly is the long and the short. That's the quickest explanation of the app and what we're looking at. As I mentioned, it is 100% customizable to you guys, and you are 100% in control of the information that goes out. And I think, sorry, just to really quickly, because I know Quentin mentioned the proposal. So what we've offered to waive the development fee. So what this does was it will give you 2 apps, one for Android, one for Apple users, and it will give you all of the updates moving forward. So we're getting ready to actually launch 3.0 here, probably early in the new year. So if you were to agree and sign on board with us, we'll get you rolling with our current version, and as soon as 3.0 gets launched, your app is automatically upgraded. All of your users are automatically going to get the new features. There's no additional cost to that. On top of waiving the development fee, we also offer, a 12-month trial period at our standard package, which essentially will give you 12 months of free service with your up to 500 users. And then from there, we would work with you to figure out what the best package is for you before deciding whether or not you actually want to continue on forward with us as your partner, your communication partners, or if you'd like to go a different route. The other piece I will note is there is no contract. We don't lock you in for 1, 3, or 5 year terms. You give us 30 days notice and we can cancel if you're not happy with us. Obviously you want to work to see if we can make sure that we are, fulfilling your needs and doing everything we can. But if it doesn't work, it doesn't work. So 30 days notice, and then we scrub you clean, we scrub all your information, and we part ways very amicably.
So can you tell, or we just have to have people when they sign up, put in if they're residents of Coronation, residents of the county, they'd have to do that themselves?
Yeah, that's correct. So when we would add an extra layer. So once they create their user group,
Yeah.
you would add an extra
It
step
is
for them
good to know where people are from.
for sure.
that.
And we've actually had a few communities ask us as well, like what happens if someone doesn't want information about school zones or school closures, for example, because maybe they don't have kids. You can build a layer in where you would allow them to opt in to certain groups, for example. So maybe you have an education group or health, public health or Parks and Rec. You could allow your residents to pick which groups they're part of so that they're only getting the information they want to see. And you don't have to worry about them complaining because the app is blowing up with all of this information that's not relevant to them. So we can build it in, we can make it as customizable as you guys want to make sure that your residents are getting the information they want.
Okay.
And you said worst case scenario, like obviously next October is election.
Yep.
Say we went with this and the new council decides they don't, like there's no penalties or anything you said, you just.
Oh, that's correct. 30 days notice. Yeah.
No, just making sure.
I'm glad you mentioned the election because I know that's a big point for a lot of municipalities in Alberta. Obviously, you've got a lot going on, lots of changes. This is a great opportunity for all communities to engage residents with the election. What do the changes mean to them? What does that look like? How does it affect them? I mean, obviously, I can't guarantee that you all get reelected as much as I would love to be able to do that. But we can help direct individuals where your polling station's at, have you registered to vote, all that information. So again, we work with you to really make sure you're getting the best out of it. Especially during that first 12 months. We want you guys to be able to get the maximum benefit for the program so that after the 12 months period is up, that you guys want to stay on board and continue to use our product.
What do your packages look like in terms of costs and stuff like that?
I can show you here. So given your guys' the size of your community, you're probably going to be right around that standard package. Now, I will say that there's a lot more that kind of comes with it. So this is your standard package here, so up to 500 users. This is not all set in stone. We have some clients that are at 550, 575, but they still are on that standard. We don't immediately bump you up to this next level as soon as you exceed that 500 users. There's groups and there's add-ons that we can add because we want this to be as customizable for you as possible. So this is the standard package. So you're essentially getting 12 months free at this level. And what that also gives you is these 10 curated content updates. I guess I'll mention this is kind of important as well. Let's say there's something happening in the community, but the person who manages your app is unavailable. You can shoot me a text, an email, or a phone call. My team and our team in Edmonton can actually post something and publish something for you to your app. Still looks like it comes from you, doesn't have us anywhere on it. We're simply there to provide that additional support. You would likely very much stay in this realm here unless you are looking for more of us to do more work and more content updates for you. Then you could upgrade if you were looking forward to that. But after the 12 months, you're at that about at $8.90 a month. That would kind of be the package for you.
Okay.
I should also note too, turnaround time is roughly 30 business days. Basically, we would take, once you guys give us the approval and the go ahead, we'll get to work. Takes about 15 days for your developer profiles. As a governing body, you have to have your own developer profile. So we work with you to get those set up. And then after we have those approvals, it's a 10-day turnaround time for the app. At day 8, we send you a test beta link to which you could play around with it, make sure colors look good, logos look good, content's exactly what you want it to be. And then we launch it, and then we help you with marketing materials if you want them. We offer table tents and posters and QR codes, whatever it is you guys want, we can help facilitate. And then you're basically out getting the public to download your app and helping with the engagement. It's pretty quick. We got it down to a science, so it's not like a 6 or 8 month process to get you guys up and running.
Good.
Awesome.
Great. Any other questions I can help with?
I don't have any more.
Questions?
Okay.
Thank you for your time and
Thanks for your presentation.
Thank you very much for
Good.
allowing me to present to you guys. Appreciate it.
thank you.
Thanks.
Excuse me.
So just a couple of questions. Isn't this some of what our webpage is supposed to do?
Yeah, so we do some on the webpage, but this would be more for like a cell phone based, so yeah.
Yeah.
The other part too is
How many of our 450 or 95 houses have email? Like what kind of percent do you think?
not sure off the top of my head. I know that our website gets at least 200 to 300 views a month sometimes.
Yeah.
So we peaked at 600 sometimes, but I mean, it depends on how many times you go back. Like, so
Yeah.
one person get, log in 3 or 4 times onto the website and they get.
Yeah, no, that's right. But that's what I just was wondering, like if we know how many have actual emails so they could actually use this.
I'll try and find out. I'm not too sure how I would find out, but I'll.
Something to find out for next meeting. But
Yeah, because the other thing too is there is, the county is also got Voyant as an app as well. It's not as in-depth as this one, how this app is, but we do have access to actually using that underneath the county's user and we don't pay for that.
Okay.
And then we also do have, I believe through our financial software, I believe they're coming out with a module that allows, I don't know what they'll charge for that. And our website, if we really did want to have an app for the phone, so they can develop it as well.
yeah,
And I think it's about 1,500 a year for that through them for a similar idea. I don't know if it's as in depth as this program or this company is offering, but there are a few different options that may be worth looking into as well.
which if it's 1,500 on there, that's quite a bit cheaper than 890 a month.
Yeah, and I mean, we're already.
To kind of judge how many of the extras do we need?
Yeah, and then the other part too is if, say, we go through the website developer, everything that we already have on our website's already accessible through the app. So it just kind of integrates over and it's mimicked and then the information is available on it. So there are a few different options there. The other option is if council wanted to try this app out for a year and see how it works, see if there's any community interest in it, be a tool for the toolbox, but
Got nothing to lose for 12 months.
Where my mind's going to is this would give us the opportunity to see maybe what works better, what doesn't. It's a waste of time.
What does the county's app, what does it cost them, do you know? Is it something that if we work with the county and like we use this app for our 12-month trial and had them monitor too, and they like this app better, could we go and work with as a more like an area, like a
Regional.
regional app?
yeah, and I think there's probably some opportunity to have that conversation. I'll reach out to the county and see if they're open to the idea, because I know there's more for notifying public of like road closures.
Yeah, emergencies.
Situations and so they can do push notifications for emergency emergency issues. I believe their app has the same ability to do newsletters. I don't know if it's as in depth. As what this app would be. I don't know if we can upload like a 200-page PDF document, for example, but. We could do, I know they can do links and contact information, stuff like that, but, and I know they don't, like with the Voyant app, I don't believe. Is set up to do forms or
Right.
data collection, I guess. So, that was a couple of years ago that I talked to them, so they might have changed by now, so it might be worth, like I said, exploring, just to see.
And then maybe, you know, like now that that Halkirk's part of the county, it's kind of different issues. They're gonna be. And even say Castor, like if we could all work on a regional, because like I say, that's $10,000 a year. That's pretty pricey for us.
Yeah.
If we could work together as a group and get in that 3,000 or just above it, share the cost of it, it's more reasonable.
It could also be a conversation with Pep to perhaps to see if there's opportunity to work through that with them too, might be something to bring up.
But like I say, if we at least did this 12-month trial, then everybody could monitor how it worked.
Yeah.
And how we could get information out, and maybe we get more information out this on certain ways than the county's app does, and or vice versa, I don't know. Something that we could look into.
Have a trial there.
Yeah. Like I said, there's nothing.
County's app is the county's app for like just general stuff we were talking about, or is it more for emergency stuff?
I think they can use it for kind of whatever they want, but I think they can't kind of keep it mainly to really important notifications. I don't think they really use it for much else. Cause they want people to actually use it and pay attention when they do push something out, so. But I'm sure they've got some good data on that too themselves, cause they've had it for a couple of years, so I'm sure they'll be able to give us some information, so.
Yeah, because I'm Voyant, they talk a lot about it, informing people about emergencies or public safety, so
Yeah,
that's more what it's for than. But yeah, when it's for free,
Yeah.
and they'll put it on their stuff for free, that's
It's a good deal.
kind of can't really lose, can you?
it's worth trying. I would,
That's the way I like
It'll
it.
take time for the office here helping them get stuff on there, but really,
Yeah, we've got to take into account how much time afterwards updating it all the
Mhm.
time, and responding, and who's gonna do all that?
that would be the other thing we'll have to figure out here.
That'd be an added cost to it too, right? Like,
Oh, yes.
how
and
many hours a day is it gonna take someone to do that,
and
per week or whatever?
are some of the other groups or committees, or like the schools say, are they gonna want to put their stuff on here? They already have the way they look after getting information out to all their parents and students, you know, are they just happy with what they've got?
Yeah, and I don't know.
You know, that would be,
But this would be a good way for like recreation, like the minor sports, to get their information out, the
so
community,
would,
the fine arts group,
Oh, yeah.
to get their stuff out.
would anybody be able to post on here? You would have to be only certain people.
If we made groups,
I don't know, but so then we'd have to get certain ones on there registered to change information, right?
Yeah, we'd have to probably have some administrators that would monitor it, make sure that notes aren't getting posted.
I'll find one administrator per group or whatever.
Yeah.
Something on those lines, yeah.
So, and they would have to be ones that would actually want to do it. You know, put it on there and.
Yeah.
Which would be a great way to find out what's going on.
Mhm. No, I definitely see the positive in it, that's for sure.
So, does somebody want to make a motion to do the 12 months free?
I think we should try it. So I guess I'll make.
I don't see the point, the harm in trying it.
But once we do the 12 month.
This is right. So.
All in favor? Carried. 9.1, we want to go to the in camera?
Yes, please.
Okay, we need a motion to go in camera.
Make that motion.
Mark makes that motion, all in favor? Carried.